What happens when wealth and arrogance collide with honor and courage? When a senator's daughter kicks a homeless veteran for views, the world holds its breath. The courtroom falls silent, and everyone knows that what Judge Caprio does next will either crush her ego or shock the nation. Madison Carter struts into Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom like she owns the building. 19 years old, dripping in Chanel, $3,000 Prada handbag swinging from her shoulder, Louis Vuitton heels clicking against the marble floor with every entitled step. Her blonde hair shines, gold necklace spelling Daddy's Princess catching the light, AirPods still in her ears, phone glued to her manicured hand. She's 20 minutes late and couldn't care less. This is the senator's daughter, who believes laws don't apply to her. Today, she is about to learn the hardest lesson of her spoiled life. Across the room sits Robert Jensen, 72, a homeless veteran. His clothes are worn and patched, shoes scuffed, eyes carrying the weight of decades of hardship. He didn't come for fame or money, just justice. But Madison doesn't notice. She sees only content for her social media followers. She has already filmed a clip, laughing and planning to humiliate Robert online. His tension is electric. Whispers ripple as the bailiff calls the case. Madison smirks, confident. Robert quietly adjusts his tattered jacket and waits. The judge's gavel strikes, demanding attention. Even then, Madison barely looks up. She thinks this is just another stage for her followers. But the courtroom knows better. Today, patience, dignity, and courage will clash with arrogance, wealth, and entitlement. Rhetorical question: can a single moment of cruelty change a person's life forever? Drop a comment below if you think Madison's behavior will finally meet a consequence. But what happened next made the entire courtroom gasp. The bailiff clears his throat, and Judge Caprio leans forward, his eyes sharp, scanning the room. Madison tries to play it cool, but the first piece of evidence changes everything. A video surfaces, recorded by a bystander in the park just days ago. In it, Madison kicks Robert's worn-out wheelchair, laughing as he struggles to stay upright. The sound of his cane hitting the concrete echoes, and his face twists in shock and pain. The courtroom goes silent. Even Madison's usual smirk falters, her fingers tightening around her phone. The prosecutor stands, voice steady but shaking with anger. "Your Honor, this isn't just a minor altercation. This is deliberate humiliation. He is a man who fought for his country, and he is being attacked for the sake of online views." Robert's hands tremble as he clutches the worn straps of his bag. He doesn't need to say a word. The evidence speaks for him. Witnesses are called one by one. A park vendor recounts seeing Madison push him, then laugh while filming herself. A neighbor testifies that she bragged about the viral content she planned to post. Every word, every detail, piles up like bricks on Madison's conscience. The courtroom feels heavier with each testimony, the air thick with tension. Rhetorical question: how could someone so young and privileged show such disregard for another human being? Drop a comment below if you think justice is finally about to be served. And just when it seemed Madison might escape unscathed, Judge Caprio leans in, his voice calm but cutting. Judge Caprio's voice fills the courtroom, deep and commanding, yet tinged with sorrow. "Miss Carter," he begins, "do you understand the weight of what you have done?" Madison shifts uncomfortably, glancing at her phone, hoping no one notices her trembling hands. Robert sits quietly, eyes fixed on the judge, his heart heavy but steady. Now it's Robert's turn to speak. His voice is soft, but every word carries decades of struggle. "I fought for this country," he says, "and I believed in its promise of respect, dignity, and justice. To be kicked, laughed at, and used for views. It breaks something inside a person. But I came here not for revenge, only for fairness." A hush falls over the room. Even Madison cannot ignore the truth in his words. Madison opens her mouth to respond, but her carefully rehearsed excuses falter. Her followers, her wealth, her Instagram fame, it all feels hollow now. She doubles down for a moment, saying, "It was just a joke. I didn't mean..." But the courtroom doesn't laugh. The tension grows unbearable. The audience leans forward. The stakes have never felt higher. Rhetorical question: can arrogance survive the raw power of truth? Like this video if you've ever seen someone's ego completely unravel. Judge Caprio's eyes narrow, a storm brewing beneath his calm exterior. "Miss Carter," he says slowly, "sometimes life teaches lessons money cannot buy, And in the next moment, what he says leaves Madison frozen, her face drained of color. Hit that subscribe button if you want to witness the full shock and redemption that follows. Judge Caprio leans forward, voice measured but impossibly firm. Miss Carter, power and privilege do not grant immunity from responsibility. Every action has a consequence. You have taken a man who gave his life for this country and used him for personal amusement. That is not a joke, that is cruelty. The courtroom is silent, every ear straining to catch every word. He pauses, letting the weight of his statement settle. Robert Jensen, you have endured more than most of us can imagine. You have served with honor, faced hardship, and yet you carry yourself with dignity. Today, the law is not just a set of rules, it is a mirror reflecting our humanity, or the lack of it. His eyes sweep the room. Madison shifts uncomfortably, her designer heels suddenly meaningless on the marble floor. Judge Caprio's voice grows warmer, almost tender now, but still filled with authority. Miss Carter, this is your chance to see beyond yourself, to understand the consequences of seeking validation at another's expense. True respect is earned, not bought. Compassion is a choice, and empathy is the path to redemption. Rhetorical question: will she recognize the opportunity to change before it's too late? Drop a comment below if you believe even the most spoiled can learn humility. And just as the courtroom holds its breath, Judge Caprio delivers the verdict that no one, including Madison, will ever forget. Hit that subscribe button to see the shocking karma unfold in the next chapter. The courtroom waits, silence stretching like a drawn bow. Judge Caprio's gavel strikes. Miss Carter, he begins, you will write a full apology to Robert Jensen, detailing what you have done and what you have learned. You will also volunteer 100 hours at the local veterans shelter, helping those who gave more than you can ever imagine. And finally, you will remove all content that humiliates Mr. Jensen and publicly acknowledge the harm you caused. Madison swallows hard, the weight of the words crushing her ego. She nods slowly, her phone slipping from her hand. The reality of her actions, and the world's judgment, finally lands. Robert blinks back tears, his hands trembling, not with anger, but with relief and a quiet sense of vindication. The courtroom, once tense, breathes a collective sigh. Outside, the story spreads like wildfire. Videos of Judge Caprio's speech and Madison's apology go viral, reaching millions. People are inspired by Robert's patience, humbled by the judge's wisdom, and reminded that privilege is meaningless without responsibility. Madison begins her volunteer work, awkward at first, learning the true meaning of humility. She posts a sincere video documenting her experience, earning both praise and introspection. Rhetorical question: can one act of cruelty be turned into a lifetime of lessons? The answer is clear in Robert's quiet smile and Madison's sincere tears. Like this video, if justice and redemption still matter, hit that subscribe button to follow more stories of instant karma and heartwarming transformation. Share this story to remind everyone that no one is above kindness, and always ring the bell to catch the next unforgettable courtroom moment. And though the courtroom drama has ended, the ripple effects of one shocking day will be felt for years to come. The story of Madison Carter and Robert Jensen doesn't end with a gavel. It spreads far beyond the courtroom walls, reminding everyone who hears it that actions have consequences, and compassion is more powerful than cruelty. Social media lights up with reactions, millions moved, millions inspired. Some comment on Madison's growth, others on Robert's resilience. Together, their story becomes a lesson in accountability, empathy, and the strength it takes to stand tall in the face of injustice. Judge Caprio's words echo long after the trial: respect is earned, not given. Power without responsibility is empty, and a single act of kindness or a single act of cruelty can shape lives in ways no one expects. Robert Jensen leaves the courthouse with dignity intact, knowing that justice, when tempered with humanity, is unstoppable. Madison leaves with a new perspective, humbled, aware that her actions affect real people, not just social media followers. Drop a comment below if this story moved you. Like this video to support more heartwarming courtroom stories. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and share this video with friends to remind the world that even the smallest acts of empathy can create lasting change. Every view, every like, every share helps spread a message that justice is not just a word, it's a way of life. And as the city sleeps that night, the echoes of one courtroom's lessons continue to inspire, proving that sometimes instant karma leads to lifelong transformation.